Are very, very close to it. Can we bring in Haley again? Let's bring in Haley. All right, Haley Meier, last we talked to you a couple of minutes ago, you said it was trying to go. You said it was possibly going to drop a tornado. What are you seeing right now?
Right now, I think it's getting a little more outflow dominant. That's what we saw with the Roth cyclone as well. It tried, and then I think the outflow took over for a second. Right now, we're darting south on 77, right?
Yeah.
177. So we're going south on 177 because we are keeping in mind that storm off to our left-hand side, off to the west. That one also kind of moving on its own. And I think just really with our strategy today, we'll follow a storm, give it a chance, and then we move west and south and west and just wait for that next storm to see if it can squeeze onto these boundaries and really get going. But it looked good for a second. It did seem like there was consistent tightening, but I'm just not seeing that in front of me, and I'm also not seeing that on radar either. So as of now, we are just going to go south a little bit. We're not abandoning this by any means, but we are just playing it safer, trying to get out of any kind of precip, because that's also going to create a bit of a nightmare. But I mean, we have that whole cluster of storms, all tornado warned. So it's a messy day, Ari.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm wondering, you know, obviously this isn't over yet. Like, we've got several hours to go in an atmosphere where there's a lot of spin, and, you know, the storms have been tornado warned for a pretty long time. But I was mentioning this on a little bit earlier in the show where, you know, I kind of feel like a lot of the times in these events, sometimes you'll get the cells that pop up during the heating of the day, you know, late afternoon, early evening, whatever it is. And then they've got like their couple-hour window where they're individual cells, and if you're going to see your really high-end tornado, that's usually the time when you see it. Not always, but usually. And what I'm seeing with these storms, there's rotation in just about all of them. I mean, it is impressive just to pull a velocity screen grab here. I mean, you can just see every single storm that's out there is rotating. But I feel like the rotations, apart from the storm that was south of the Red River, and apart from the couple of brief tornado reports that we had out of this storm that was in Oklahoma, I believe the one that you were on and the one to the west, my point is, I feel like there's not a lot of staying power. Are you getting that vibe from the atmosphere, having looked at these storms from the ground?
Yeah, I think it's really just the upscale growth. Like, the second we had initiation, we knew that it was going to be off to the races, and it just created this cluster of activity. And it's making a dangerous situation for people who live here, a dangerous situation for trackers with nocturnal threats for tornadoes and high precip tornadoes as well. But I just don't think, because of all of the competition that we've seen with these storms, it's just really messing with each other, and they're not able to properly mature and turn tornadic. But definitely into Texas, they've been pretty robust. And the one tornado photo that I've seen in Texas was a pretty good-looking stovepipe, and the good news is it seemed like it was in a very rural area, and you've been reporting that there was no injuries or anything, so good news there. And if that's the worst of what we have today, I call that a win for folks. You know what I mean? If the worst that we have is a rural stovepipe tornado, doesn't cause anything, and it ends up as an EFU, that's exactly what every meteorologist wants, but they maybe want to watch it as it comes down. But at this moment, we are just heading south, trying to stay in the clear slot away from the hail, because that was something that the Storm Prediction Center also highlighted, that hail is going to be a big-time problem with potential hailstones close to 4 inches in diameter or greater. Very intense updrafts, a lot of instability, but the storms are just having a little too much fun with it, and that's why it's becoming a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you can have so many parameters that are so high that they almost mess with each other a little bit. And I feel like in those situations, a lot of the time, you do see this type of thing where it's the messy storm mode. You might have, like, you know, the storm of the day, 1 or 2 individual cells that do really well, like this one. And I think that's been the storm of the day, the one that's been south of the Red River down there. It formed not far from Wichita Falls, now moving toward Dallas, but that's been our individual cell. So, all right, Haley and the team, you guys in limbo a little bit. Still kind of deciding exactly where to go. That's part of the game. Just to remind people, we're up here in Oklahoma. They were just on this storm, saw a lowering, not quite a funnel cloud if I'm not mistaken, and now you're going south, so you're giving yourself the option of staying on that storm or attacking the one to the west. Any idea which one yet, or are you still making the decision?
Right now, I think we're going to head west. Just seeing the genesis of the other storms that we were on that have since moved east, it's become a big cluster, rain-wrapped and messy. So we're going to give this western cell a chance. It's also moved towards the southeast a little bit more, so similar direction as some of these other storms. But I don't want to equate this by any means to the tornado we had on Thursday, the Enid tornado, but just the way that the storms are developing is somewhat similar in a sense that you have one storm that looks interesting, you get a tornado warning, then it grows into a cluster, it gets messy, and then you go south. And then you have the same thing, and the process repeats itself. And eventually, at the tail end of the night, you had Enid. And so, again, I've said this a couple of times, but that's Jared and I's plan, is to just continue to follow south, watch what's happening towards our north, but just trust our gut, work our way south, and this western cell is what we're going to do for now.
Right.
But I mean, good news is it doesn't seem like we have any tornadoes imminent, and I think that that's a very positive thing considering we have 6 different tornado warnings that seem all on top of each other.
Yeah, and I know you guys are obviously aware of this, but with that boundary set up there, the storms have been training. You're starting to see a bunch of flash flood warnings go up. I know you're on the correct side of that, but just be careful in the water and everything out there with all the chaser convergence. Would not be fun to get caught. Haley Meier, you guys are absolutely crushing it out there. Keep it up. It's a young person's game. She's been at it all day.